Hari Om. Does anybody remember where we left 3 months ago in Bhaj Govindam? We completed or concluded till the 8th shloka. Start on 8th? Okay. So we have seen till the 7th shlokas. The 8th shloka, repeat after me. The first shloka, Bhaja Govindam, we can all chant together. The 8th one, you repeat after me. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrunkarane. Repeat after me. Kate Kanta Kaste Putraha, Samsaroyama Tiva Vichetraha Kasyatvam Kahakuta Ayataha Tattvam Chintaya Tadiha Bhrataha. Samsaraha ayam ativa vichitraha. What is samsara? A generic understanding of the word samsara. We keep using it in all our colloquial languages. What do you understand by the word samsara? Ecosystem of people around. Running away from family. Running a family. Okay. Running a family. We used to have a manual, and it was very funnily worded, the title of the book. It said, how to start a Balavihar and run. What they meant was running a Balavihar efficiently, but how to start a Balavihar and run. Okay, what else is the meaning of the word samsara? Material perspective around attachments. Who said that? Attachments. Most of the colloquial languages that we use this word in, though it is a, as he put it, ecosystem of people and material around and our interaction with it to run a family, we use it in quite a frustrating environment or frustrated environment. This samsara, as though it is a burdensome environment, a painful environment, that is when we use the word colloquially samsara. The technicality of this word, it is a root word, is in Sanskritam. There can be multiple shades of meanings. One meaning is, the root word is sru, sarane, to flow. Samyak sarati, that is the very nature of this world. What is the nature of it? It is constantly moving and changing. So the changeless law of this universe, that it is constantly changing. Samyak sarati, that which is constantly flowing and changing, is called samsara. Sara also means essence. So we are in search of that essence. Samyak saram yachati pruchhati iti samsara. We are searching and seeking for that essence. Why are we searching for it? Because having found that essence, we have glimpses into life. Whenever we found that essence, we feel fulfilled from within. There is a sense of completeness from within. So we keep searching. We try it in different geographical dispositions. Southern India, northern India. So those who are in south, they go to north. Those who are in north come down to south. Sometimes grow up in West Indies, Maharashtra, Bombay. That environment also was very stifling, so find opportunities somewhere else where there is some meaningfulness, some contentment can be gained, sense of security. Constantly searching for that which will fulfill me. In Hindi, such people are called khana badosh, gypsies, those who run for finding that which will give contentment to them. So places, people, we try finding meaningfulness, sense of gratification. And many times in this fight for finding a sense of meaning and balance with people, with things, with environments, with our interactions with all of these as experiences, a sense of fulfillment, we forget the basic fact, which is the other definition of samsara, which is nothing in this world is permanent. I would say thankfully, but we cling on. Have you watched Star Wars, or not Star Wars? What is the other one? The series? Star Trek. Have you watched the Star Trek series? There is a particular group of people, they are called Klingon. The moment I heard it, it is like it made a mark on my head. Like, we are no better, we are also Klingons. We cling on to our environments and we get attached to those environments. Why do we cling? Because there is a sense of that gratification, sense of joy, there is a sense of fulfillment. तुम आए, बहार खिल गया. And then later, तुम आए, बाहर खुल गया. I want to run away outside. So there is constant seeking of that. But where are we seeking? Why is he calling it this samsara as vichitra? Vichitra meaning very strange, very peculiar. That we keep seeking this contentment, we keep seeking this fulfillment in almost meticulously beautiful environments where you cannot find it. that fulfillment through the environments, people, material, and our own experience is a proof of it. And now if Elon Musk is successful, we will try to find it in Mars also. Mars or Moon. Different environments. And the moment something makes us suffocating, what do we want to do? It is stifling. We want to quit, run away from there to something else. And run away to what space? That which can anticipatorily give or promise to give that contentment. What is contentment? Where do we find that contentment? There should be a sense of abhayatvam. Abhaya means a sense of security. That which I am and that which I have is not being snatched away. I am ready to bargain with it if it is in a most profitable for both sides, and I gain something out of it, you gain something out of it, and we pitch in and exchange. But if it is snatched, then I feel threatened. We see that even in kids, 2-year-old, 1-year-old. Usually group of parents of the same age group with same age kids, they all gather, become friends, and all the kids are in one room. A poor kid to whose house all of these other kids have come, he is going through a mental torture. Why? It is not like the toy that I am holding is the only one that is important to me. This also, that also, that also, that also. And now that many kids holding on to all of those, how many times have you had to go do a rescue? Because these kids snatch it away, and if the other kid comes and tries to, they push them away, and then the sirens go off. Then you have to go down there as Krishna Avatara and then give your piece of advice and say, beta, share karna chahiye. Haji? Sharing is caring. And the beta ji is looking like, share kabhi share nahi karta. Right? And then right in front of you, they snatch it and say, no! And then you have to sit down at their level. We have grown in different dimensions, vertically, horizontally, we have grown. But that very mindset of finding the sense of security, attached to it, holding on to it, clinging on to it, that mindset has not been grown out of. Okay. So the postulated theory that it's being objected by this shloka is, if that which you are holding on to, clinging on to, is giving really that which you are anticipating, continue, cling on. Step back, evaluate, does it even give that? Now, the strange fact is, after having experienced firsthand that it can never, we still cling on to it. That is why it is called strange, vichitra. You know, there were poets that wrote songs, Dukhi man mere, sun mera kehna, jahan nahi chaina, wahan nahi rehna. Kab? When they are high on spirit. By the time that effect goes on, go back to the same place. Very vichitra, that we go back to those comfort zones again and again, knowing very well that that which I am anticipating is not there. So what are the different environments? People. The first line talks about people. Third line talks about material. And then we come to the intersection wherein we start questioning. Kastvam, koham, kuta ayataha. ये शुरू कब हुआ? Where did it all start? Where did it begin? Why am I here where I am? Is this all? Monday to Friday, and these days working from home, I don't know what is the working hours. Probably you are also trying to figure out what those working hours are. The Monday through Friday there is a pattern. Saturday, Sunday there is a pattern. Week after week after week after week, the pattern is constantly repeating. To what end? So this generation grows, earns, saves, and then spends it on its own health. The next generation also is taught, secure a job, secure a lifestyle. Pattern is established. We feel secure that they are in a pattern which I know. So I am comfortable that they are in a comfort pattern. But is that pattern something that which you are yearning for, which you are looking for? Has it proven that it has given that? In a way, but no. Because even that sense of security which I have, I know that it is only a feel-good factor. But at least that has to be there, whether the ultimate contentment or satisfaction at the end of life, at the end of day, whether I achieve or not, at least this must be there. But to what end? Many times we sit, and if you end up questioning like this, please do not consider yourself to be depressive. It is called inquisitive. Swamiji, I'm losing interest in all of these, and I feel it is a little depressive. Clinically, depressive has a completely different texture to it. This can be confusing. This can be self-evaluating. This can be those questions which I don't seemingly find answers. So cluelessness can be the, but depressive, this is not depressive if you are into these kinds of questions. You are trying to find the very purpose. Why am I in this kind of intersection? This husband, this wife, this children, this environment, this neighborhood, this kind of economic system, ecological system. It seems like everybody is running but not knowing where. How close am I to that which is bringing me an assurance of that contentment within? Kastvam koham kuta ayataha tatvam chintaya tadiha bhrataha or bhrantaha. Do you know how addiction works? So there is a lot of people that come in one of their 9 steps formula. There is one where they have to come and connect with their priest or somebody to do with religion. So at that, there's a lot of them that come and I have to speak with them. I have to interact with them. So their definition is that, all this for what? To understand what is addiction. Their definition of addiction is they know that that is the very cause for their turmoil inside, outside, and because of them to the environment that they belong to, that they are plugged in. They are the nuisance value, and all of this is because of being addicted to that one vastu. Knowing all of this, they still, not just by virtue of habit, of course virtue of habit also, but it feels as though they are dragged, sucked into it, that they cannot do away with. In that way, each one of us in our own delusion are sucked into a pattern that खाए नहीं निगल सकते, छोड़ नहीं सकते. Have you seen Batman? I think it is Batman. Christopher Nolan's those 3 sets of. There is the guy who played the Joker, he dies later after the movie. I'm talking about that particular Batman movie. So there he tells a dialogue. He is describing himself, what delusion means. He is describing himself. He says, I am like that mad dog which is running, chasing an ambulance, not knowing if I ever end up catching it, what will I do with it? But I cannot but stop myself to keep running after it. I cannot stop myself. I will keep running after it. Why? Pata nahi. When such questions come across, tattvam chintaya tadiha bhrantaha. There are 2 versions of it, bhrataha, bhrantaha. Both are there. Bhrataha, oh brother, he is as though Adi Shankaracharya ji is addressing with love. Bhrantaha, tadiha bhrantaha. Please give up this delusional approach towards life. Now, how does one get out of it? That in problem or a situation analysis and its solution, one has to understand first clearly what the problem is. Then we will be able to fix it thoroughly. Without knowing the problem, trying to fix it is like what Frankfurt Road was having as a solution for last 10 years. Thankfully, this year they have put a budget and they have started reconstructing the road. Prior to that, they would put a patchwork and it would peel off and the road would again be in shambles. It would crack and your drive will not be smooth, your tires will not be effective. There was not a permanent solution. So similarly, for us, we have to first understand what the problem is so that it can be tackled from all angles. Otherwise, it will be only a temporary patchwork of solutions. And most of us as Indians, as Desi, we not only do those temporary patchworks, but we very proudly claim that we are the best at it. Maharashtra mein, Bombay mein, they used to use the word called jugaad. Jugaad is that temporary solution where I don't need to put an effort to move from my comfort zone or my, and try to fix it as much as possible. And then we came and settled in Texas. There is a Texan wisdom added in. What does the Texan wisdom say? If it ain't broke, don't fix. तो चलता रहता है, चलता रहता है, चलता रहता है. Years after years after years in the same pattern we keep limping around. So in Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, which is the syllabus for the 6th grade students, how many of your children are in 6th grade? That syllabus. There are 2 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. It talks about the problem. Why do we slip into the same patterns of rut even after knowing that that is not where I want to end in or end up in? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. And we call that in Chinmaya Mission 6th grade syllabus as the ladder of fall, a SWOT analysis of all our problems. Dhyayataha vishayan pumsaha. Where does it begin? It begins with a thought. And I see this very often with parents and their children, where it is that age where they want a cell phone because their class somebody has a cell phone and the pressure is on parents that I want a cell phone. No, not yet. How many of you have gone through those kinds of conversations? Almost everybody should have gone through it, invariably. Right? The pressure is there. Now what happened in that child's mind? That fellow has seen one fellow. That fellow also, he may not have the phone. For that day, the parent must have given the phone to use. But that fellow is showing, oh, mere paas phone hai. iPhone. Now what is the series iPhone? 14. iPhone 14. मेरे पास अपन के पास iPhone 14 है. तेरे पास क्या है? हाँ जी? Oh, iPhone 14 Pro. Okay. So this fellow comes back home and creates enough ruckus. Where did it all start? एक कमबख्त फोन किसी के हाथ में, and then the thought began. Phone. And the kids are, samadhana danda bheda upaya, they also apply on parents. They first ask for it, you don't agree for it, then they start bargaining. You know what? My birthday is in the end of the year, but you can gift that to me right now. At that time, you don't need to give me anything. इसका तोड़ क्या है अभी? Anybody listening to it, it almost feels like bechara. What kind of an oppressed environment is he living in that he has to bargain this with his own parents, biological parents? Everybody will go through it. They know where to twist, how to twist. Where did it start? Dhyayataha vishayan pumsaha. It started with that first thought that I also need a phone. Those Nokia candy bar kind of a thing, just phone. Who needs that phone? What kind of phone? I need a smartphone. I tell parents, please give them one. There will be smartness somewhere in them, at least in the phone. Smartphone. It starts with that one thought. Dhyayataha vishayan pumsaha. As soon as the thought gets sown in, they start amplifying it. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu upajayate. There is a sense of attachment that is born towards it. Sanga becomes kama. That attachment now morphs itself into this craving, kama. Kamat krodhaha abhijayate. Because the environment is always such that if I have a desire, the environment is not conducive to fulfill my desire. The moment there is a desire, everybody and anybody worth their salt will say, shut up. Not now. Not required. You shouldn't even entertain that thought. Every environment seems to be pressing in that. The more that pressure increases, the more inside what happens? Agitation, krodha. Now in that agitation what happens? Krodhat bhavati sammoha, delusion. जिद पे अड़ जाते हैं. They become cranky. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Very beautifully analyzed this step. You will not find it in most of the psychological analysis. See, we as human, we experience through the organs of perception and action. But that has to be processed by or evaluated by our mind. And then a direction or a decision being given by the intellect. That is usually the process. If there has been a prior experience, the wisdom born of that experience also comes into picture. That is called smriti. That earlier I was in a Starbucks, my friend said he'll give me a ride, I sat along with him and he's driving, I was taking a sip and suddenly he slowed down and that gushing hot thing went straight into my throat, charring all the way from the lip to the throat. I am not going to drink any further. When somebody else is driving the car, the hot drink. Smriti has become your own guiding force of wisdom. At least that should kick in. That it is my parents that I am speaking with, it is my caregivers that I am speaking with, it is my teachers that I am speaking with, it is my siblings that I am speaking with. They may seem like completely, trashing my request of whatever I am desiring. But when once that smriti also is shattered, that it doesn't kick in to guide. Why? Delusion is that becomes strong. Smriti bhramshat. Buddhi is guided. Buddhi takes its resources from its past experiences. When that doesn't kick in, Buddhi is not lit up. When Buddhi fails, Mana becomes indisciplined. Organs of perception action go back into the pattern of their habitual errors. And what happens to that individual? A chaos. Buddhinashat pranashyati. This is the problem analyzed. If you go to a doctor and the doctor elaborately does all the checkup, all the things that could be checked, and finds what is wrong with you, but then says, this particular disease, there was a medicine that, say, Sweden or German company used to produce 20 years ago, but it is out of production for last 20 years. There was a medicine. Would you be happy with that kind of a situation after having analyzed? After analysis is done, now you need a viable, applicable solution. And what is the solution? That comes in Bhaja Govindam 9th shloka. So that we will see next week. I know there is still 20 minutes. As I am still trying to get through the entire day, it is a habit that is suddenly lost. At 12 o'clock itself I was thinking, should I continue this session? I said, let me push myself. So I pushed it this far. I feel tired, so I'll stop here. But I can continue. Sixth grade, that is what is being focused. No, they can come to seventh only after going through sixth. So all the kids will have to go through that syllabus. छोड़ेंगे नहीं. Sixth grade में आते ही घुसा देंगे. Today's talk will be there on YouTube. Swami Sarveshananda YouTube channel. Today's talk will be there on YouTube. बिठा के दिखाओ. आप भी सुनो दूसरी बार. So if anybody's child has missed and you have just joined, free. YouTube में बिठा के दिखाओ. And if you find me boring and slow, put it on double speed. पर सुनाओ जरूर. Yeah, children also require it, but children are the reflection of the parents. So अगर यहाँ पे correction हो गया, then it will auto correct there. ऐसा मेरा मानना है. From last week? As I said, there are two parts to it, the tendons and the nerve. Tendons are going in a good space, meaning the fingers are getting the movement, grip and strength. I think last time I showed a little show off, right? I did this. I can open the lids now. अरे खुल जा. नहीं खुल रहा है.